Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Mai with Simply Bloom. So today I want to go through, I have a bunch of seeds here that I have kind of collected this past winter, and I guess it's still winter. This last few months for the 2025 growing season, and I thought it would just be really fun to do a little haul for you. I really had to scale back. I go a little crazy when I go seed starting or seed buying, and I just add everything to my cart, and then I kind of sit and think about it for a few months, and then I get rid of 95% of the stuff. Have to be reasonable now when I go through those seeds. So first I'm going to begin with seeds that I got with my husband. We were on a date night. We went to our local Menards, and they were having a sale. It was like $1 per seed packet. So I got a bunch of seeds, and I thought it would be fun to just go through these. So these are all, like I said, from Menards, and these are all from Burpees on their little seed starting stand at Menards. So first is lavender, English lavender. Now I live in Zone 3, northern Minnesota. Typically, lavender doesn't survive here. I don't know of any lavender variety that is cold hardy down to Zone 3 or even Zone 4 for that matter. But English lavender does bloom the first year, so I thought I could treat it as an annual and then maybe use it in flower arranging or making a dried lavender wreath. I thought that would be really fun. So English lavender is the first one that I got. Next is Verbascum Snowy Spires. That is just so pretty. This says it is a perennial, but it doesn't say for what zones, so I'll have to look that up. This crisp pure white floral spikes accompanied by lush green foliage, and I saw it and it looks so beautiful. It looked like the obedient plant, which was another one that I got. And I instantly wanted to grow this. Next, marigold key lime. I want to focus on doing more plants that can dry well. I know marigolds dry really well, so my plan for these is I'm planting them in my cut flower garden, taking them to the farmer's market, and then whatever doesn't sell at the farmer's market, I want to hang and dry. So then hopefully at the end of the year, I'll have this built up supply of dried flowers that I can make into flower wreaths. So the key lime marigold, and it has more of, typically when you think of marigolds, I think of the bright yellow, bright orange, bright red, and this is more that cool green color, and I thought that was very unique. Not something I typically see in a marigold. I have the Burpina Giants Mixed Colors Zinnia, and it's almost kind of more like the cactus zinnia. A little crazy, a little wild. I think it's really pretty. Lots of different colors. And it says that these flowers get up to 6 inches wide, so that's a big flower. Cosmo, a lemonade Cosmo. It's kind of that same as that key lime marigold that I just showed you, more of a greenish yellow. I have a love-hate relationship with Cosmos, but I saw this and $1 for a seed packet. Let's give it a shot. They are drama queens for me. Whenever I harvest them, I'll harvest them early mornings or late in the evenings when it's cool, not in the heat of the day, and they still wilt for an hour. They just wilt, limp in the vase. And then after an hour, then they'll kind of perk up, but drama queens, goodness. I have Hollyhock Country Romance, the mixed colors. So there's the yellow, the pink, the deep burgundy. It says it gets 3 to 5 inch flowers, zones 4 through 8 for these. Excited for those. Aster, I have the Sea Star Mixed Colors. I love asters. I love asters so much for cut flowers, and I planted a bunch of aster seeds last year, and I had one germinate out of 60 some seeds. Now the seeds that I was growing were very old. They were probably 5 years old. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all those seeds, because I still have some left over, and just dump them in a tray and just see what germinates. But then also I'm hoping I can at least get some new seed like these to germinate well. Then I have Forecasted Mixed Color Zinnia. These are the more like simple single zinnia, very, very pretty. I thought it would be good to just mix in with the others. And then this is another zinnia cut and come again, mixed colors. Just got your singles, you got your doubles, multicolored, great for the farmer's market. People love zinnias there. And then Envy. Look at that bright green. I love using bright green as filler flowers. Same with Bells of Ireland. That same bright green, love it with Bells of Ireland. And then this one isn't my personal favorite, but I know people at the farmer's market, they love kind of like bright, crazy colors. Candy Cane Mix. It's a little bit crazy for my liking. If I'm gonna have flower arrangements in my house, I prefer them to be like a little bit more calmer. But the kids, especially at the farmer's market, like kind of the crazy things. So I got this Candy Cane Mix Zinnia. And then I did get one vegetable. It is a tomato San Maranzo, or I guess tomatoes are fruit. Whatever, this is gonna go into my vegetable garden, but I love these tomatoes. So I got one of those. That's everything that I got in person from my Menards. Next place I'm moving on to is Johnny's. I get most of my flowers seeds from Johnny's Select Seeds. They are kind of a little bit more pricier on the shipping side, but I've had tremendous germination success with these. There's a couple other websites I've ordered from that quality doesn't seem quite as on par, top notch. So I like these. Just starting at the top, I don't even know what order these are in. I have Timeless Mix Ageratum. Sorry if I said that wrong. Also known as Floss Flower. And this is a mix of like that deep purple, lighter purple. Very, very pretty. I have not grown this from seed. I've grown it from like plants from the garden center. So I'm very excited to grow this from seed. And I think this is another one that dries really well. Those seeds are tiny. Next is a veggie. It is the burgundy broccoli. I love this broccoli. It doesn't so much get like that one big head of broccoli that broccoli is known for. This is more of a branching broccoli, and I like it because it's like you cut it and it instantly pushes more florets. And it lasts so much longer than just a head of broccoli that you grow in a plant. And the moths tend to stay away from the sun a little bit more than the green one. And whenever I grow green and this burgundy broccoli, the moths go for the green broccoli and devour it. Same with the deer, and they typically leave the purple one alone. Typically. There is always those instances where they don't, but typically they go for the green one. Next, I have Rocket Mixed Snapdragons. I love these snapdragons. They are tall, they are sturdy. Snapdragons are known for kind of like an all-season snapdragon. They do well in cooler weather, but also during the hot summers as well. Whereas some other snapdragons fizzle out during the hot summers, these still keep blooming. So I love these, and they have sturdy stems, so sturdy. I don't typically stake them, and sometimes they fall over, but for the most part, they do pretty good. I have a giant yellow marigold. So we had the green one earlier, now is the giant yellow, and I like these because they get tall. Does it say how tall? 36 to 40 inches tall. I like that. A lot of the marigolds only get like 8 to 10 inches tall. This is going to be great for cutting and arranging. Another snapdragon, we have the Potomac Apple Blossom, which is just beautiful, beautiful white kissed with a little bit of blushy pinky red color. Love it. Reminds me of all my apple trees. I think this one's a little bit better for like a little bit more of the cool season, but still does really, really well. And then I have, what is this? Queen's Anne lace. I didn't know what it says. It just says Amy Purple Kisses. I forgot what I ordered. So yeah, this is that lacy flower. Great for a filler. It has like a purpley pink tones to it. Very excited about this. I did read that sometimes the sap can irritate your skin. So just kind of keep that in mind if you decide to grow this. And then I have a giant orange marigold. I should have organized this, sorry, and put all the snapdragons together, all the marigolds together, but this is literally how they shipped to me. I'm just going in the same order. Same thing as the other yellow one, tall, 36 to 40 inches tall with this one. So it'll be great for the flower garden. And then I have Black Knight Scabiosa. This is one of my all-time favorite Scabiosas. I love adding this into arrangement. It adds just kind of like this twinkling effect, beautiful texture. Whenever I have an arrangements, it's typically one of the first flowers that people ask what it is. Even though it's small, it adds a mighty punch to your arrangements. So love that one. Cherry Brandy Rudbeckia. Love this. I love Rudbeckias. They look like sunflowers, a little bit smaller. They're easier to add into arrangements, and they produce so many stems of flowers per plant. Love it. Love it. And this is just like that deep burgundy red color Rudbeckia. And it is a perennial in zones 9 through 10. I just treat it like an annual here. I have a Madam Butterfly Snapdragon. I've never grown this variety, so I'm really curious to see how it will do a little bit more roughly than the other snapdragons I've grown. Next, White Swan Marigold. I'm very excited for this one because they say it smells like marshmallows. And even though it does say White Swan, it is more of like a pale, creamy yellow color than pure white. Zinnia, I have the Queenie Formula Mix. This is my all-time favorite zinnias. I love this mix. One of my favorites, and this color palette looks good with pretty much every single other color flower that you can grow. Another Scabiosa Fama Deep Blue. I've never grown this one. If I can understand it properly, the flowers are a little bit bigger than like the Black Knight one that I typically grow, and this one is also a perennial, so I don't know if I'm going to put this in my cut flower garden. That's more for like annuals, but I will be using these in my cut flower arrangements. But I think I might be planting these out in the landscape just because they're a perennial. I would love to have a section in my cut flower garden for perennials, but probably not this year. We're really working on amending the soil, and I know the next several years I'm just going to have to be like dumping compost into the soil. It's really, really bad soil. So I figured if there was a perennial section, that would just be kind of more difficult to just back a dump truck up to it and just dump it out and then use like a bobcat to push it around. I figured the perennials would get in the way. So maybe sometime down the road, but for now, this will probably be going in a different spot. Okay, that is everything from Johnny's. Next one you may not be as familiar with, of a company. I got this from Antonio Valente Flowers, AVF. I'm sorry if I said his last name incorrectly. This is a Canadian flower farmer with his flower farm, AVF, we'll just call it that. And just recently he was able to ship his flowers into the United States. And he has a lot of interesting ones that I don't typically see other places. Also, his prices were incredibly well priced, I feel like, compared to other ones like Johnny's. I could get a lot of the same seeds from Antonio that I could get from Johnny's, and it was a couple dollars cheaper per seed packet, plus the shipping was very cheap as well. So just starting off exactly how Antonio shipped them, I have the Frosted Explosion Ornamental Grass. Now occasionally I'll have one of these pop up wild in my yard, and I've used them in cut flower arrangements, and I love the texture. I love, love, love the texture that these provide in my flower arrangements. So beautiful. Next one is Vegmo Double Feverfew. I've never grown Feverfew. I love the way it looks. I'm very excited to grow this variety. It's just the texture that it adds to bouquets. Whenever I see a bouquet with it, I love the way it looks. I'm very excited to grow that. And then I have Prairie Sun Rudbeckia, which I've grown before, but I ran out of seeds. So here we are replenishing it, and it's just the most cheerful, bright yellow Rudbeckia ever. Like I said, like a sunflower, but it's much smaller, much easier to tuck into arrangements. Love Parade Yarrow. This is a new variety to me of yarrow. I've not seen this anywhere else before. It has the most delicate, beautiful lavender purple flowers. This is a perennial. I can't remember if it's down to zone 4 or down to zone 3. I'm not sure, but I was so excited. Actually, Antonio did a little video of this. I saw it on Instagram, and that's what sold me. And then I found out that he could ship to the United States, and that sold me even more. And here we are. This is the whole reason why I ordered from him. Okay, I have cinnamon basil, which I ordered this on by accident. I meant to, like I said, I added a bunch of seeds to the cart, and then I kind of go through and narrow it down. I remember I meant to delete this one, and I meant to keep the Sahara Rudbeckia. Well, I must have deleted the wrong one. I didn't recheck the cart. I just checked out. And then when I saw this one, when I opened it in the mail, and then I realized the Sahara was missing, I kind of realized what happened. But it's okay. So this basil will provide a lot of filler foliage into my arrangements, and then it gets kind of like this deep purpley pink flower that is very, very pretty. So it will still be good to plant this. Next, hot biscuits. It's an amaranth, more of like a tan golden amaranth that will be really, really good for the fall. I love amaranth, but not the like really, really trailing ones. I find those really hard to put into arrangements. This hot biscuits, and then the same with red spike. It's more of like a tight, compact spike, making it much easier to tuck in arrangements. Next is Ocean Pearls Agrostemma. I have to remember what this one is. I don't remember actually what this one looks like. It just says a delicate looking annual with long wispy stems which sway gracefully in the breeze. The easy to grow plants produce pure white flowers which feature the most charming speckles. Okay, I kind of remember now. So I thought this one would just be another textural piece. I love little delicate flowers in my arrangements. They just add like the prettiest sparkle, I feel like, to my bouquets. So I got that, and I don't think I've ever seen this anywhere else. Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. I was excited about this one. I got this one very cheap from Antonio. I was looking at it from Johnny's. I think Johnny's was like almost $9 for a seed packet. This one was like $5. So very excited, and I'm excited for this because I've heard people say that they've used this as exchange or instead of growing Japanese maples. Japanese maples don't typically survive in my garden, although I think I found one variety that will. But I thought this would be so pretty to just kind of pop throughout the landscape, add that just deep, brilliant burgundy color into my flower beds, and then also cut from it, add to my arrangements as well. Black Trumpet is a velvet trumpet, and I'm going to read the back too because I've never heard of this one before, and I saw it on his website and I just had to try. It says, an old-fashioned favorite which puts on show-stopping performance in the garden or the vase, a beautiful color palette and striking petal markings. So supposedly it will bloom throughout the whole entire season. And again, just kind of like that sparkly movement. I love arrangements that dance and there's lots of movement in them, and I thought this would be perfect for adding that. And then Rat Tail Status. I grew this once before and I absolutely loved it. It's kind of like a pinkish purple. Looks kind of like a rat's tail. Different than your typical status, but it adds just a very unique element to your arrangements. And then I have one more order. It's not actually in yet. I just ordered it. Thank you to my good friend Megan. She informed me that the Swallowtail Garden has Dalmatian Purple Foxglove. I had never even heard of this foxglove until Megan told me about it. I instantly fell in love. She told me where I could order it, and I ordered it. And since I was already there, I did get a couple things. I wrote them down so I could talk to you about them. First thing, Dalmatian Purple Foxglove. I have grown the Dalmatian Peach, which I absolutely loved that foxglove. And then I looked this one up and I think I love it even more. Just that perfect color of purple. This foxglove is known to bloom about a week before any of the other foxgloves, so it gets you a little bit earlier of a color. It is biannual, but it will bloom the first year, and then they say if you remove the dead bloom stalks, it will bloom the second year as well. So very special. Next, I got butterfly bush, which does not survive in my garden, but I was reading that this butterfly bush, if you plant it early enough by seed, which might not be early enough this year, it might be too late, I'll try. If you plant it early enough by seed, it does bloom the first year. So I figured this would be way cheaper than buying a $30 butterfly bush at the garden center and planting it and treating that as an annual, because I really want to grow them. They just don't survive, and that's an expensive annual if you have to get it every single year. So I thought, why not try it by seed? That's what we're going to do. Next is a Vision Violet geranium seed. I'm pretty sure I already have this perennial out in my garden, but it is a hardy geranium. It's a perennial, will come back year after year. And I thought, you know what? I'm not very good at dividing plants. I don't like to cut a beautiful, luscious plant down if I don't have to. So I might as well just get some seeds to grow and plant out instead of dividing it or buying more already in like a 1 gallon. Save lots of money. Next, the Governor lupin. Now I saw this blue colored lupin, instantly fell in love, knew I wanted to plant it in my garden, and it's tall. It gets up to 40 inches tall. I feel like that's really tall for a lupin. None of my other lupins get that tall in the garden. So I was very intrigued to grow this one. Crystal Peak Obedient plant. Now I did a landscaping job for a friend of ours 2 summers ago, not last summer, but the summer before. And he had this plant. I did not know what it was. I thought it was so cool. I described it as like a perennial looking snapdragon. And then I figured out what it was. I saw they had the seeds because I've never seen this in the garden centers. And I got so excited. I ordered a packet because it's a beautiful looking perennial. Very delicate, striking, kind of like a snapdragon, like I said, crossed with a veronica. That's the best way I can describe it. And then I have an ornamental oregano, kirigami. I don't know if I said that properly. It is a perennial, I think, to zone 5. I don't have it in front of me. I just wrote the name down. But I saw it. It was the most unique looking, creeping, ornamental, loved it. And they actually had it in a hanging basket, which I loved. And I copied that because it just drapes beautifully off of the side of the hanging basket. Next, Cascade Blue Rock Cress. I saw this again, knew I wanted it. I have 2 rock gardens. I plan on adding a 3rd rock garden this summer, and I would love to have this pop of blue color in those rock gardens. Thought it was so, so pretty. And then last one, Oracle Sedum. I don't actually remember what this one looks like, but I must have liked it enough to order it, so I can't actually tell you what it looks like. I'm gonna guess more like a ground cover creeping sedum, but I can't remember, so I'll put up a picture. Oh, and then I also did earlier, I did order the Bullseye Salmon geraniums. Those are already planted. They are already up. I am so excited. I can smell them. I love the smell of geranium leaves, and the flowers smell good too, but they just smell so good. So good. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm very excited to get these planted and growing for this 2025 season. I will see you next time. Bye.